Greetings, everyone.
Hey,
Greetings and
Rich.
salutations, Rich.
Hey.
Greetings. Yes, greetings.
Greetings. One moment. Just bear with me, please.
Take your time. We're from the planet Earth. We have
Oh,
nothing but
yeah,
patience.
Right.
exactly.
Mm-hmm.
I told him it was my
We
fault too
humans,
because you was
yes,
helping me
nothing
then.
but patience.
Yes, nothing but patience. That's what we
Yeah.
humans have. Patience with nothing. That's what we really have.
Okay.
Uh,
Almost. Let's share this. Seems like I got that.
I see a white screen.
It's just white for you?
Yep.
Yes,
yes.
Yeah, it's white for me too.
Are you serious? Okay,
I
just let's
I
just
know.
give it a
know.
second and see if
If
it.
it ain't one thing, it's
Well, let's.
another.
What would you like us to see? We'll just use our imagination and see if something pops up anyway.
See,
Nothing wrong
sorry, you broke up. What did you?
with
did you?
that.
Sorry, you broke up. I didn't hear you.
I was just being silly. I said, "What do you want us to see?" We'll use our imagination and see if we can manifest.
Well, I've got a document up here. Just yeah. So there's an issue. One moment. Let me disconnect my computer and reconnect it.
Okay.
But yeah, if
Hi, Angel.
Hey, Cyber Shay.
okay, I'm sharing
Hey,
now.
Angel.
Hey, Angel.
Can you all
Hey.
see now?
Yeah, we can see the whiteboard
Mm-hmm.
again.
I see
Yeah.
the whiteboard.
White
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Up there
Oh,
I
whiteboard.
go.
now
Some
there
I
it
see
words.
it.
is.
There
It's
I
up
go.
there
There I
now.
go.
There you go.
Okay,
There I go.
perfect. All right,
Yep.
great. Yes. Okay,
Greetings.
wonderful. So, greetings, everyone. Thank you
Greetings from the
for.
planet Earth.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so today is going to be a introduction. Um, one moment. Let me just kind of get. I'm still trying to get connected in here. I can't see my. Okay, now. So today is going to be the introduction. Also, we've got IT Trey that even though his question comes over from the digital skills WordPress and workrooms workshop, it's still related to AI. And so I figured we can go ahead and answer that in here as well.
Ooh.
But yeah, there's something about how this isn't. But anyway, okay, no, let's not worry about that. Um, so what is AI discussion is the thing I wanted to start with. What is AI? And I wanted to just kind of go around the table and get like a just a short couple thoughts from each person, starting with Angel. Just kind of letting me know what your perception of AI is. What is AI to you?
I think that AI is a robot that mimics a human in terms of how it has like brain functions and can answer you and hold conversations with you.
Okay. Cyber Shay.
AI is like a clone of a human's brain that can do almost what a human can do, but even more and faster affected.
Okay. Trey.
Okay, well, I know AI stands for artificial intelligence. If I try to break that down, it's basically what just what's been said. It's like I foresee it's like a robot that's made like can take orders from a human
Hmm.
and make your life easier.
Okay.
Yeah.
Necessary.
Well, everything everyone else said. It's artificial intelligence. I believe it's a set of data and programs that are used to emulate the human mind and taught to more or less grow exponentially from the information it receives and continuing to process. So it has a lot of opportunity to be utilized in different areas.
Okay. G Deuce.
Yeah, I agree with what everyone says, but including it can be manipulated because it is artificial intelligence used to actually mimic. ourselves and the way we think, the way we speak, the way we talk, so it can be as we use the prompts and so forth. But it can be changed,
Mm. Okay,
as
nice.
such.
Sped by me.
Um, well, I see it as a database of a lot of information
Mhm.
that can be accessed through um, just the way you ask it and talk to it. You can gather that information within that database.
Nice.
Hmm.
Okay. So, first of all, everything that all of you have said is correct. And but there's a, a lot more to what AI is than only that. And so a lot of people don't realize it, but AI, the industry of artificial intelligence has been around for an extremely long time, and it has technically always been a part of our lives technologically. I mean, um, your credit and debit cards have always used AI for fraud prevention. You know, anomaly detection is what it's referred to as. IT Trey, you
This
asked
being
me.
recorded.
It is.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
It's all.
Okay.
That's we've got
Did you
Izzy in the
miss a
house.
person? Or
Oh, okay. Okay.
Kilroy. Oh my gosh, I sure did. Kilroy is in the house from mobile. Please, Kilroy, what is AI to you, please? I'm sorry, I was looking this way and I didn't see
They away from the computer.
you. I know he's on mobile because he asked for the
Yeah, he's
link.
at work, so I don't know. He might
Yeah.
be away.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All
Oh,
right.
okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, so AI is it goes all the way back, and I won't it actually has a really 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 interesting history, and there's no shortage of content about the history on YouTube. You can learn a lot about, the founders of it, people like Marvin Minsky and a lot of other people, but the thing is that these tools have been evolving for decades into what we have now, and what we have now is um, access to something really extraordinary. But it's building off of, like I said, decades of work, of research and progress. And so the way that you think about AI will help you use it. And is like one thing that, in my opinion, is really important is for each of us to begin building our personal relationship with these AI tools that are starting to come out, because these tools are going to give us essentially superpowers, and you're going to be out there in the world working alongside and competing against other humans that are using these tools. And so your relationship with these systems is going to really, really, really like either make life,
Yeah.
easy and
Yeah.
and open up doors,
Yeah.
or will not being able to use them will limit you in terms of your opportunities available. I hear we've got Kilroy back. Before I move on, let me just get you to share your thoughts. Few thoughts on what AI is to you.
Can, can you hear me?
You sure can, loud and clear.
Sorry, I was on earlier. I
Ooh,
couldn't figure
very
out
loud and
how to
clear.
unmute. Is it
Ah,
echo?
No, no, you're okay. I had to turn my volume down some. I think I just had it up too loud.
mm-hmm.
It might be me, but yeah, I'm on my mobile, so I was driving. I couldn't figure out how to unmute it. But
Okay.
artificial intelligence is uh, that's a hard one. There's so many aspects of it. From my favorite part is the large language model, where they input trillions of uh, pieces of information, and the artificial intelligence can predict what the words are. It's fascinating in my mind how it works.
Hmm.
I'm still wrapping my head around how this thing can just come up with the right answer, know what you want, and all this stuff. It's like, but
Mm.
yeah. So I'm still learning. I don't know.
Okay.
It's
All
every
right.
day.
That's a
Right hand man. And if people don't get on board with this, they're gonna be left behind. So
Yeah. Oh
we
Mm.
yeah.
all
Oh
need to look
yeah.
at it as a asset and not something that we're afraid of because
That's a good answer.
it can be used to boost your knowledge, your intelligence. You sit and talk with it, and you can learn so much from it.
mhm. Mhm. I
Just
agree
like
100%.
Google used to be.
That's what I should have said. I should have said, I
Well,
don't
you know,
know, but I just know I need it.
well, what you said, Trey, was good for
Yes.
you. What each one of you said was accurate and good and correct. But yeah, I agree with everything you're saying as well. It's good.
Yeah.
And he brought up about the large language models, and I'm glad he brought that up because we're actually going to talk about some of these different types of models that exist. And the large language model, like ChatGTP is a large language model, but the way that these work, I heard one of the things Kilroy said in his statement. He said he doesn't really know how it's coming up with the answers, something like that. I'm paraphrasing. But the large language model, when it comes to the large language model, the answer to that is in what it is. And the large language model is the type of system that is basically trained on an extremely large corpus of text, like all of the words on the internet, on the open internet, right? And so you take all of the words that is on the open internet, and then there are statistical relationships between all of those words that are created. And then, now these systems are extremely complex and have, these different levels that when you send a prompt in that it goes through before you get your output. But basically, um, it's predicting the next word. And to just give a really simplified overview of how that works, if you've ever, if you, I'll give you an example. So I'll just say something like, um, the chicken crossed the
Road.
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 Right. Okay. So yeah. So that's what it's doing, right? Like,
Right.
so you take a certain amount of text, given a certain size of an input, you can predict. Well, it can predict, you know, the output. Now, the way it does that is by creating a model. So essentially, um, it has to it predicts what would be the answer that someone that could answer that question would give.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So like let's say that you ask, well, how many calories are in an egg? Well, it has a model of a dietitian, that could answer that question, and it predicts what they would say, right? Within a certain statistical probability. All right. Now, that's a really important thing to keep in mind when working with these systems because sometimes you'll get what are referred to as hallucinations. And hallucinations are basically gibberish. It's what can also be seen as a lie or flat out incorrect information. But the reason why it can spit that out is A, the machine isn't conscious of what it just said, but B, because what it just said is the most statistically probable set of words to output in response to what you input. You see what I'm saying? Now, so what you can do is when you really like understand that it's working that way and you don't treat it like it's a like all-knowing god of some sort, right? Like if you treat it like an all-knowing god of some sort, you'll get disappointed really easily because technically the large language model doesn't know anything. It doesn't know anything. It doesn't know anything, and it doesn't care that it doesn't know anything.
Yeah, I think that's good. They
It's
don't
going to spit
care.
out statistical probable output based on your input. Now, with that, You can, when you work with it the way it works, you can really, really, really get some great results. So, for example, it can be it's really useful for like finding the relationship between just about any types of patterns, about any types of like words or concepts or any of that stuff, right? And so because of that, there's a tremendous amount of ways that you can work with it and get what you want. But you can't always just like put in a question and expect to get a solid answer, you know? Sometimes you're going to, oftentimes actually you can get pure gibberish. Spared by me um was just having a situation the other day. Was asking it about something, and she became kind of disappointed and began to somewhat remember you began to kind of lose faith.
I did, 'cause I felt like it had lied to me and wasted my
Oh,
time.
wow.
I felt like I had to do an extra step of work of going to Google to find the answer and then taking that information and then giving it to ChatGTP and then it was like, "Oh, I'm sorry, you are correct." And I'm like, "I just could have went to
Yeah,
Google."
because I had her what I had her do was I had her go and get the answer and then show it to ChatGTP, and then ChatGTP changed his mind and say, "Oh, okay, I was wrong. You're right. Blah blah right." But like I said, it
Mm,
doesn't care. I say he would, it
that's
doesn't care
funny.
that it gave me
That's
the wrong
funny.
answer before. It is quite fine to yield and say, "Okay, you're right." Like you can really easily get it to disagree with you.
That's
If you give it any
hilarious.
pushback, it'll say, "Cool, yeah, you got it, bro. You're right."
I feel like ChatGPT gives better renders better responses than when with a lot of the image creation softwares. In my opinion, they just seem to miss the mark a lot more at the beginning. I mean, when you start getting a little more advanced stuff with ChatGPT, you can sometimes run into, you know, certain, like you were saying, some
Mhm.
info that you're like, okay, but I don't know. I just find with the image creators,
Well,
there's a lot more of that.
have you tried Mid Journey?
You know what? I did join the Midjourney Discord, and I do need to sign up for a Midjourney plan because that's the thing I
So,
haven't done
so
because I've tried other ones.
Mid Journey is the most like professional
Okay, it's got
platform
the most.
for the diffusion models,
Okay.
and but it's actually probably the most difficult to use.
Hmm.
If you use it, if you give it good solid instructions, it
Okay.
will output the highest quality and the most accurate like layout requests and everything well, more so than Chat GTP in my opinion, but Chat GTP
Well, yeah,
is
Chat
good to work with.
GPT is not right. It's not going to do
Well,
it.
the
It's got a little bit of that though, a little
no,
bit of image
Dolly is
stuff that
really
I.
good. No, no, here, like I'll pull him up. Like we can no, don't get me wrong now. The Chat GTP. Wait a minute, let me find my mouse. I got these
So,
monitors over here.
question: I was on Chat GPT the other day, and it rendered an image for me once, and I just assumed it was from Dolly, but I've never seen the two interact while just in Chat GPT. But I was able to do it while still
Dolly
in
is
Chat GPT.
integrated.
But
Dolly
see,
is
I
integrated.
never knew that it was working with like that because when I go to
It
Dolly by itself, I don't
You
get.
can go to yeah,
Hmm.
you can go to Dolly 3. I don't know. I used before they integrated, I used to go to Dolly 3. I mean Dolly.
Oh, Dolly 3 is what they're pushing to you
Yeah,
to
well,
now
that's what
anyway.
it is. Yeah, it's this Dolly
Yeah.
3. But see, they even redirect you over to Chat
Huh.
GTP. Yeah, so they just put it in there, and so now you don't use it in the external interfaces
Don't have
like
to do
this
the
using it
separate.
here.
Okay.
But now, don't get me wrong. Now, this is really good. Like, let's just demonstrate something. But now, before I do this, let me just say, for the highest, and see, this is the thing. Like, everything is relative. Like, I can say for the
Mm-hmm.
highest quality, but then what that means to you in your
Right. Because something
mind,
different. Right.
right? It's something different. Like, you're not imagining what I'm imagining as higher
Mm-hmm.
quality, right? So, but just I'll say it like this. You know how on the one hand you can get some really good pictures with your phone. But then
Mm,
there's a reason professional photographers purchase DSLR cameras and stuff like that, right? And like, and like,
right.
you might not really understand why that camera costs like $5,000 or whatnot, and your phone
Mhm.
takes really good pictures too. But there's a reason people that buy them do,
Hmm.
and just know that like Dolly, I mean not Dolly, but Mid Journey is like once you learn all of those commands, it's just like that DSLR camera. Like what make that camera so good is that you can configure all of those settings and you can
Right.
control the aperture and your exposure and all of that stuff. With Mid Journey, you got all of these different like commands that you can send in with your prompt and basically influence what you get out that you don't have those with chat gtp. With chat gtp, you just basically got your conversation, but your conversation gets you extremely far. Okay.
Hmm. Hmm.
Just like your phone will get you, you take your phone to a wedding or a party and you can come back with some really nice memories, right? You don't
Hmm.
have to
Mhm.
hire a professional photographer. However, there are circumstances where maybe you will hire a professional photographer. So, with that being
Gotcha.
said, let's diffuse. So, first of all, when it comes to generating images, that's called diffusion. Okay. And
Okay.
like the way that works is it starts out with a bunch of noise, basically. And then it basically just clears up everything that is not your request.
Okay. Okay.
Just removes everything that's not your request from that noise. Okay. And so, and that
Yeah.
process is called diffusion. And so,
Okay.
what we're going to do, like if you were to use Mid Journey, you would see the diffusion process a little bit more because it shows like it starts out grainy and then it goes through and then it goes and then it updates and then finally you have your output. But with ChatGTP, they have like a little loading symbol. So let's just create something, and I just want to show the process, like how I create stuff and how I use it. I use this a lot for inspiration for things. But let somebody just tell me what should we design?
Oh, that's
Uh, I'd like to we'll just do this. Maybe for now, can we design an entryway into a meditation garden
Okay,
with archways or a
oh,
line of
that's hard work.
trees leading up a winding pathway?
sure, yeah, we sure can. And now, let me just say this before I go on. One thing that I like to do when it comes to ChatGTP is I like to when I'm having it design something. One thing I've gotten really fond of doing is starting a conversation of an audio conversation. So I'll
Okay.
turn it on audio discussion, and then I'll say, "Hey, I want you to help me design an image, but I want you to ask me a series of questions."
Hmm.
And then I'll have it ask
Mm,
me questions that I want. But let's start off this way first. Let's tell it what we want, okay?
mm.
So I'll just say, "Please design a IG." Wait a minute, let me open it up right here. This- Okay, please describe it again for me. It was a Zen. Was it a meditation garden?
Yes, a meditation garden. Uh, Somewhere in there, let's do a archway of trees with a winding path that leads to two big giant doors. That's it.
So it's going to go through its process of designing. Now, the thing that I really like about ChatGTP in comparison to Mid Journey is how we can make changes to the image and have the conversation go back and forth, whereas Mid Journey, the process is a little more clunky and cumbersome.
Mhm.
But so here's what we have starting out, right? We've got this.
Okay.
Now, if we wanted to make any changes, let's have someone tell us what should we what would it be cool? What would be nice to have right here in this area?
Some birds.
It's okay. Let's add some birds.
Now, was there a prompt up there for you to do that, to highlight that area in order
It's
to?
it's part of the tools.
Okay.
So once you click it and it opens up, you have the tools on it where you can draw on it, and then you can revise your prompt, and it will make those changes. And right now, that's what it's going to do. It's going to change this image to
Okay.
reflect
That's
the
ChatGPT 4. Only do
four
that. Okay.
four o.
Yeah, I need
Well,
to.
yeah, Chat GTP
I need to
4.
go to 4.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm finna just I'm buying to this because I have to have it in order to keep up.
Come on, Chat GTP, you're making me look bad.
Oh man, for real.
Still ain't got no birds
Oh,
in here.
oh,
See,
And
it's just
so,
reminding me. It's reminding me of past traumas.
yeah, so okay, let's start this over. Okay, so
Okay.
I come back up here. This is the tool right here.
Okay.
The select tool.
Okay.
And you can change like how big this circle the selector is. Like if
Mhm.
you needed it to get into a fine place and do something, or you can make it big like that, right?
Okay.
So I'm gonna say it a little different.
Is that little? You see that little white thing up there? Is that supposed to be a bird?
Nope.
Because was that in the image before?
What little white thing?
I'm seeing I don't know. It looks actually like a cross between a rabbit and something else. I don't know what it
Where are
is.
you
Oh,
seeing
I
that?
don't know what you're
bird.
It's on
seeing.
the
Yeah.
screen. Yeah.
On this part, on the big part of the
Yeah.
screen,
Okay. Yeah. So you see
or the
where the
little picture?
blue, the blue highlight. If you
Yeah.
look
I know you're
at
talking
like
about.
1 o'clock,
Okay. You
you
just
don't
talking
see
about the
that.
open, the little open air. It's probably sky. If we're looking at the same thing
Yeah,
and
that's
it's just
Yeah.
outside
sky.
of the blue, that's
Yeah,
just the
that's
sky
No.
sky.
peeking
That's the
through.
sky. Yeah.
Yeah, it's peeking through the
Oh
trees.
wow.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You know,
Doing like
let's
how
just
we used to do as kids, looking up at the sky. I see a
you
rabbit, I
know
see an
what?
There you
elephant.
go. That's what
Sometimes
I
you
was
gotta
seeing.
take the whole
Yeah.
prompt and
That's good. That
take the
means your
whole prompt and
imagination's
just
still
add it in
strong.
there and see. Take the whole prompt and
yeah,
then just put it in.
I know, but you shouldn't have to do that. You
Okay.
can also just like right now, I think it's because of these trees. We're going to generate another image.
Okay.
And actually this is good that it's doing this, but because we're going to do another one, and
Mhm.
we're going to do a different I'm I'm guessing that it's having trouble because of these trees. I'm
Okay.
guessing
Mm-hmm.
because you can see that it's actually changing the
Mhm.
trees. And like technically it could be putting like birds in there somewhere. So like I can see
Yeah.
like a gate. Well, I don't want to open it. Let me just open it in a new tab. Open it
Maybe
in a new
say,
tab.
please make the birds viewable or something like that.
Well, I did right here, but
Yeah.
the problem,
So
and
okay.
I I did right here. See, I
Oh,
said
okay.
wait a minute, where's my prompt at?
I see it visible. You said visible,
Tree, yeah,
right?
yeah, are visible.
Uh-huh.
But I think
Maybe you need to tell it in this. No, because it had the selection
yeah,
shown.
it's
I
got the
just wanted.
selection.
Do you need to tell it though
Well,
within the
you can
chosen?
see that it changed in that area though. So like this was the
Oh, how it
original.
got brighter a
Yeah,
little bit. Yeah.
you can see that like notice in this area, there's no like fence
Mhm.
area right here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
But if you
Yeah.
look down here on this one, there's like a fence right here. You see that?
Let me
Mm-hmm.
see.
Oh
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Oh,
So it is
really?
changing this area. But let's do it different. Let's do something without these trees in it. Let's do Somebody give me some. Somebody give me something non-nature. What should we do? Do a city. Let's want just do it. Let's just do a
Just do a
city.
city, yeah.
Yeah, and
Computer
then we're gonna
lab.
because
A
what we're
computer
focused on
lab.
right now is make it is manipulating it. So let's just say,
Create a
Can we do a
futuristic
Hobbit village
city.
or something, man? Let's no.
okay, yeah,
Uh,
okay,
you like nature, I can
Hmm.
tell.
I do. I
yeah,
do. I like fantasy, nature, anything
Yeah,
that allows you to observe the
yeah.
natural beauty of the planet and
Gotcha.
that's
our
a futuristic
imagination.
Hobbit village.
Okay,
Ooh, go
futuristic
ahead, get
hobbit.
creative. I
Okay,
love it.
this is gonna be
Yeah, and
interesting.
one of the things that I do is when I'm having a conversation and it's like really not giving me what I was expecting,
Ooh.
Mhm.
I just start a new conversation.
Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, right.
Okay. That's
Cause
good
you
to
know, it's
know.
like, yeah,
Hmm.
I don't,
Look, you got
try to
solar
keep.
power too. Look at
Yeah,
that
they got
I
solar
know.
power.
futuristic.
Oh, that's different.
Mm,
How about that? Where's mother controller? Oh,
Okay, so let's see. How should we manipulate this? Let's
Or
add
maybe
something over
ask it
here.
to, well, tell it to take out the solar panels and see if
O-
that does something.
that's a good idea.
mhm.
Okay, okay.
That's kind of,
Now,
that's
but we're not
cool.
going to use our selection tool on that one. But yeah,
No.
let's
Okay. Remove all
okay.
instances of solar panels.
All right.
Okay. Then I guess we can remove the windmills too, huh?
Try that next. Let's see if it
Okay.
recognizes the solar panels and removes them.
Okay.
Yep, they're gone.
Yep.
Mm.
Well done. I guess because it's a
Wow.
very distinctive thing too. It's
Right. Yep.
easier for it to pull it out. So that
Exactly.
that
Well,
makes
yeah, that
sense.
was distinctive. Hmm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yep. So there's all the windmills are gone.
Awesome.
So
Awesome.
Mm.
now let's put something over here. So let's use our select tool again,
Okay.
and what should we put over here?
Castle. A
A
hobbit
castle.
castle.
Oh, a hobbit castle.
Oh,
Yeah, those hobbits got some nice living quarters, don't they?
Right.
Yeah, I know, right?
And
Hmm. Okay.
he
Put
didn't
something
have
over there.
Right.
regenerate. You can hit that regenerate button and see if you get something different.
Okay. So does that selection tool normally work pretty good for you though?
Yeah, it normally works pretty good, but sometimes you run into situations where it's challenging. But for
Hmm.
me, I also use. Let me open it up over here one moment. I also use Photoshop, and because of Photoshop, let me just bring it
use
over
Adobe
here.
Firefly.
Yep, I can use Firefly.
I
So
Yep.
just started
Mhm.
using that on my Mac the other day when I found it because I
Yeah.
wasn't using that before. And then Apple
Yeah.
suggested it.
hmm Apple
And that was
suggested
pretty
it.
good. Huh?
Apple suggested it.
I think it was Apple. Well, somebody suggested it. I know it was an
Wow.
Adobe program. So, Apple's always promoting their stuff.
hmm Yeah. Wait, my other screen is so much larger than this one. I'm bringing this over into, so I gotta shrink it down a little bit.
That was a
Okay.
nice photo, a cover for the class.
Mhm.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
designed by ChatGTP.
That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I had
What does
new
the GPT stand for, anyways?
just
I've always wondered. The,
Me too.
GPT stands for Generative Pre-trained Transformer.
thank you.
The
All right.
transformer is a
Wow.
technology created by Google, which actually make all of this possible. But yeah, it's that's the GT generative meaning that it generates is generative AI. It generates content, generates whatever like we just used it to generate an image. So it's
So generative, predictive,
no generative pre-trained.
pre-trained, and
Pre-trained. Yep, meaning you don't have to
transformer.
train it. Yep, you don't have to train it on nothing. It's already pre-trained for you.
Okay.
Because what you can do is you can train your own model if you wanted to. I mean, it's expensive and hard to do, but
Hmm.
if you wanted to, you could do it. So that's why the pre-trained is important.
So question, can you, because I've always wondered about this without it being overly complicated,
Hmm.
could you kind of train it to almost work as a virtual assistant for you to manage certain things without having to pull from a whole bunch of different software? Like, can you
I like that
train
too.
it
Yeah.
into certain things for
Hmm.
you without that being a really complicated thing to do?
Well, yeah. Um, so first of all, you can train your own models. There's levels to that. Um, But when it comes to GPT, you can
Hmm.
create what are called GPTs. Okay.
Hmm.
Now,
Hmm.
a GPT, when it's used standalone as an acronym like that, is
Hmm.
like a small or like a specialized version of Chat GTP. Okay.
Okay.
And basically, what you do when you're creating a GPT is you are basically giving Chat GTP a set of instructions to follow
Hmm.
every time you use that GPT so that you don't have to put in all of those core prompts and examples and everything that you fed in for it to understand how to
Give you
behave.
what you want.
Yeah, give you what you want. Better, much better way of describing it. Yes. Um,
See, I'm
so,
thinking more like if you say you had a database of names, okay? You had people in your company and you wanted to say they had training modules they needed to get through, like three or four different things, task oriented. And I wanted to somehow train a GPT that would have all those names, be able to create me, say, a spreadsheet of who has gotten X models done or whatever based on me either connecting it to something else or inputting certain information, that kind of thing.
hmm
Okay.
yeah, yeah. Like here, let me give you an example. So, for example, this is let me just grab. I'll grab a short, but this is my one of my YouTube channels,
Oh, I gotta
and
subscribe if I'm not
uh,
already.
thanks. But I'm just gonna take this video. So this is a GPT.
Hmm.
This GPT is a video summarizer, and
Okay.
basically, all you gotta do is stick your URL in there and give it to it,
Hmm.
and
Oh,
And what is it going to create? A transcript or
let's.
literally a
look, check it
summary?
out. Check it out. And then
Oh,
you can take this and put
blog
this.
post.
How
You
do
could
you
take
get to
this and
that?
you could take this and put this inside of your videos or whatever. But like,
Hmm.
How did you get to that
Can you take
video
a just
summarizer?
say a video that you have, or just say for example of this class, and if I put it in a Google Drive, can you do the same thing?
yeah, actually, so I just made a here. I don't know if you all saw this. Let me check
Cause
this out. All right, hold up.
I literally just upgraded my Chat GPT. Cause
Did you?
yes, I just upgraded.
Okay, sweet.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
got.
I'm going to do the same thing when this is over.
Yeah.
I
This
need to
right
do that.
here.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, was it? No, not that one. Excuse me. This one. All right. No, not this one. This one. Watch this one.
Check this out. I'm going to open up this recorder, and right now I have started recording. And let me show you a super cool way to use ChatGTP.
Now, right
So a lot
here,
of people don't realize.
first of all, this right here is is a recorder app. So basically, just so that you know what's going on before I finish playing, I'm using Zapier and ChatGTP in order to create a quick transcription. I'm using Google Drive. I just drop the file into Google Drive.
Mhm.
Chat and then Zapier sends it over to ChatGTP. ChatGTP transcribes it and puts the transcription into the Google Drive. So that purple part of the screen is actually my phone.
Okay.
Mm.
All right.
Okay.
But OpenAI created a transcriber. So when you talk to ChatGTP, you're actually using the transcription service of Whisper. And we can communicate with Whisper on the back end using the OpenAI API. And right now, I'm going to do so easily using Zapier. And so right now, you see this easy Zap that I've got set up. And I'm going to stop this transcription and I'm going to share it to my Google Drive.
So you can see over here in this window,
All
I'm
right. So I just
sharing
sent
it to
that
Google Drive,
transcription over to Google Drive. Okay. And you can see it right here. So
and it's
that's
not a.
the recording.
I was saying transcription, but I meant to say recording.
Okay.
The
Okay.
transcription hasn't come yet.
Right. It's
That
going
I
to
just
create it
did.
for us. Right.
Yeah.
Now, that recording is actually going to end up over here in this transcription failed folder.
Finished.
But while we're, I'm going to,
That's supposed to be the transcription finished folder, not failed. So two two Spico
Oh, it's
errors.
so good you
text
can laugh
message
at yourself.
while we're
I'd be
waiting on that
mortified. I
to
got to
come
work on
in.
my perfection issues. I love
Well,
it.
I just have to, let people know if they like my bad.
Hey, I appreciate it. That's so cool. Just the fact that you're doing all this stuff, I appreciate it.
Oh
Thanks.
yeah.
But so while we're waiting on this text message, let me just explain this Zap. So when a new file comes into the Google folder, Zapier automatically takes that file, sends it over to Whisper using the OpenAI Zap. And then after that, um, Whisper will send back the transcription, and Zapier will put that transcription inside of the transcription complete folder. Then it's going to find the file, the original file that was uploaded, move that file into the transcription finished folder, and then it's going to send me a text message letting me know that everything is complete. So we should get that
Nice.
text message here shortly.
Very nice.
Mm, Here it goes.
Just got the text message, which means that now the transcription is complete. Here it goes. I'll
So you
just
see
open
there's
that
the
up and you see the transcription. That's all you have to do. Over here, I'll come over into this folder. So remember, the transcription was inside of the requesting folder. It's no longer
Mhm.
in here. It's now in the transcription finish folder. And at that point, I can delete it if I need to. Now, check this out.
So yeah, basically you can communicate with ChatGTP on the back end, and you can send it, like you can send it stuff. You can so there is literally so much that you can do, that and that's actually why I wanted to start this workshop, is
Mm-hmm.
because I want to start just kind of showing you all how to do some of this stuff so that you can start using it in your workflows
Mm-hmm.
and your projects and things. But there are there is so much value that can be extracted from using ChatGTP on the back end, connecting it to something like Zapier. So you can just imagine, like, so for example, like, you can take, let's say that you're generating leads. You can take all of those leads as they come in, pass them over to ChatGTP and have it based on some kind of criterion qualify those leads,
Mhm.
determine if they're spam,
Mhm.
if their sentiment analysis, so that ChatGTP can get an understanding of like how they're feeling,
Mhm.
what,
Mhm.
and then try to like categorize people based on like whatever your strategy is, for categorizing people. You can think about it. Well, the way I think about it is just like raw intelligence, right? Like sometimes I use it to help me um brainstorm things. Like I'll start a conversation with it and just
Mhm.
have it start asking me questions and things like that, or whatever. But
I
yeah,
like that
just
aspect, Rich, because I normally am asking it a ton of questions and getting feedback. But I think I want to try the letting it ask me questions that I may not have
yeah,
looked at.
you
Yeah.
would be you would
Because I
check
mean, I
this
get
out.
its perspective, but I never thought about like having it ask me a certain level of questions to get to where I need to be. It's really
Watch
good.
this. Let me see something. Let me know if y'all can hear this. I want you to ask me questions about a project or a business that I want to start. Can y'all hear this?
Barely
It's a
even
A
little
little
low.
bit.
If you
really
could get it
low.
closer to your
Okay,
mic, that'd
Super
be
if I
low.
could
great.
get it close. Yeah. Now, okay, watch this. You can just read it though.
Okay.
Yeah. The the thing is like with yeah, it's right here. Okay. So you see we can play it aloud
Sure.
right here.
What kind of project or business are you thinking about starting? Do you have a specific industry or idea in mind?
And then you can
That sounds so natural.
The
I'll say
voice. I was gonna say, did you kind of specify the type of
mhm.
voice you wanted to hear?
Yeah, you
Because it
specify
sounds
the
very cultural and it sounds
uh-huh.
very familiar in terms of
Yeah.
what you would
Mhm.
be used
Yeah.
to hearing from an everyday person. So I like that.
Right.
That's
So the
crazy.
speech. So right here, you can customize your speech right here.
Hey
Okay.
there. I've got a really great feeling about us teaming.
These
Nice.
are the different options you've got here.
Okay.
Ooh.
Hmm.
Very
One thing
nice.
that we
I like car better than
one thing
Siri.
that me and Sped by me realized when that she set her chat GTP has the guy voice. Which one did you select? Do you know which one you think is?
Hey,
No,
I'm ready to hit the ground
Is it
running.
this
So
one?
if there's anything you'd like me to focus
no,
on first,
I don't know
just.
what mine is, but it is a
Hey,
guy.
it's great to meet you.
Oh,
How's your day
okay.
going?
Is it
I'm really looking. Hi there. I just want to
is
share
it
how thrilled I am to
is it
work
that
with.
one? Probably that one.
It's
Oh
probably
I
that
like
one.
no.
Yeah,
Code.
but it was
Yeah.
just interesting that she had
Mhm.
chose the guy voice and I had chose the female voice.
Okay.
She did.
That's funny. That's funny.
Another, well, yeah, and also that ChatGTP it will learn you as you use it if you allow it. If you turn on this memory, it will learn you and it will get to know you and get better at stuff. Watch this. So I'm just going to start a new chat and I'll say, "Who is Second Life Rich?" And see, like without me,
Oh,
it
okay.
knows
Mm.
everything. If I say, "What is Lux VR?"
Uh,
What?
LuxVR is a brand under Humai LLC, focusing on
Oh
creating
my
3D
goodness.
objects and metaverse worlds. The brand specializes in photorealistic humanoid avatars, avatar fashion, jewelry, and accessories for platforms like VRChat and Spatial.io. Lux VR Club offers a concierge membership service to content creators, event hosts, and social media influencers, providing ongoing updates and fresh branded avatar fashion, jewelry, accessories, customized worlds, and cameraman services. The service website is https://luxvr.club, evr.club, and the shop website is luxevr.shop. The brand slogan is Metaverse Jeweler to the Stars.
I couldn't have said it better myself.
oh no. Okay.
Oh
Okay.
And I did not tell it to say that. Like it's just from me using it for
man.
things, it just
Yeah.
learns you, you know? And
Okay.
but now you can tell it some things to memorize about you as well. But
Now,
yeah.
based on my experience of using this,
Yeah.
we found out that it knew more about me than I liked it to know.
How about that? That
Let's
yep, yep.
hear
See, that's my only concern with that too. That's why I've held back with the
Yes.
voice and different stuff. I'm like, I
Yeah.
don't know if I'm comfortable with that yet. So what
Right.
did you do in that situation? Did you scale back some info? Did you tell it not to do certain things or
Well,
did
Well,
you
see,
just
I
kind of let it
we
didn't even
just
roll?
know
cleared
that
it.
was going on in the
Huh?
background
What'd you
here.
say?
I said I didn't even know that in the background it had knew that information because it was saving like anytime I had a conversation with ChatGTP, it saves it, which I
Yeah.
understood that.
Right.
And then
Right.
but any
It's
type
right
of
here.
conversation I have had with
Yeah.
it, it saved it. So then just by going to the
Well,
memory part of it, it was
Mm-hmm.
showing like pulling information from different the conversations that I've had over time with it.
Wow.
It's
You can
even pulling
di-
from my Google too. It pulls my
right, yeah,
Google.
your Google, yeah, your
Hmm.
Gemini
Oh,
will
if
do
your
the same
Google
Yes.
thing.
email account if you use
Well,
Yeah.
that to log in, because I do that often.
that's a little different.
Oh.
Yeah, you're talking about your login.
No, I mean, I usually when I go to Chat GPT, I'm usually just choosing a specific email account that I use and I'll do all my Chat GPT under that where it lets you log in with your Google account. I
Mhm.
do that. And so I haven't
Mm.
like created a password or anything. I just log in with my Google account
Like it
and
knew
ask
Right.
that.
my
Yeah.
Yeah,
questions and
see,
such.
that's weird. Yeah.
So I
Right.
assume it would get whatever it knows about me from that.
Well, no, what it gets the way it learns you is through your discussions with
That's
it.
what I mean from the
Yeah.
discussions I've had in that email. Yes,
In
that's
that
what I'm
email.
referring
Okay,
to. Yes,
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 right.
yes.
Yeah.
All
So
right.
it
I
doesn't
should have
know
been more
anything about
specific.
you as a human.
Hmm.
It knows about that account.
Things you're asking, it's
In that
pinpointing how
account.
type of questions you're asking regularly, the stuff that you're gonna
Yes.
say. Yeah,
Hmm.
Yeah, and
yeah.
it,
Because
what
Mhm.
it's
I
now
yeah.
now the thing that's important to note though is that it's not saving, well, all of your conversations are saved, but it's not updating its memory about you on everything that you're talking about. It is deciding what information, unless you tell it, once again, you can tell it to memorize something. But
Hmm.
if you don't tell it to, just casually throughout your conversations, as long as you have it on right here where it can save memory, it will decide, it will extract certain details about this account owner, and it will save that in its memory so that in future prompts or future things that it answer, it knows how, like what context to answer it within.
Okay.
Now, when it comes to her, now first of all, let me just point out a couple things
Just like a
because
guy.
well,
What you
I
say?
see,
Just like a
I heard
guy.
that G Deuce,
Just
oh.
but
like a guy.
what I
Oh.
what I wanted to point out is that this managed,
Ah,
when it come to her,
funny.
she was having certain conversations with it that had information that it chose to extract information that she would have preferred it not had kept, right?
So it was like an ex-boyfriend with pictures, is what you're saying.
Well, kind of, yeah, you could think about it like that. Yeah. Yeah, that's so she was
Hmm.
uncomfortable, right?
But can you
Hmm.
tell
But
it in that prompt, don't keep this info or
Yeah,
well,
you
see,
no?
can
you
set
I've
never
done
the
know
that.
when
I
you
told
never
it.
know
Oh.
when it's going to do it though. You
hmm
don't. But
Mm-hmm.
now anytime it
I told
does,
it to delete information that I didn't want it to retain, and it said,
Mm-hmm.
"Okay, I
You
won't
can
keep
yeah,
go
this
in
it
on any
settings
well,
and
server."
but
delete.
you that's not a safe way of doing it though. The
Oh, well,
safest
tell me
way
the
of
safe
clearing,
way.
I got it on the screen right now.
Hmm. Yep.
So
Okay.
on the screen right now, so first of all, let me show you how to get to it. If you click your avatar and then
Mm-hmm.
go to
Mm-hmm.
settings
Mm-hmm.
and
Okay.
then go to personalization.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
On this page, you have the manage and you can see everything that it knows about you. Okay? And
Okay.
you can
Okay.
delete any of those lines or you can completely clear the memory right here.
Oh, wow.
But
Mm.
Okay.
you can delete any of the lines
Okay,
individually
so when I
that
get
it's
to that
got.
specific one, that was actually an image, and I was like, "Nah, I don't want to use that one," and so delete it because I just
The
didn't want.
image.
It was an image I
See,
uploaded to. I don't remember what I was doing, but it was just an image I wanted it to delete and not use again. It wasn't anything naughty or anything. I can't even remember exactly what it was, but I do remember it was an image and I wanted it to delete it afterward.
Well, okay, so couple things about that. Let me just point this out.
Okay.
When it comes to your past chats, so
Mhm.
right here, if you're looking at my screen,
Mhm.
make sure you hit if anything that you spoke about previously that you don't want in there, you can hit these three dots and just hit delete, and
Okay.
that chat will go away. But now let me show something
Hmm.
else. Here inside your settings,
Mhm.
Hmm.
your so you've got data, I think it's under data controls. Yeah. Turn this off. If you sound like a person that needs to turn this off. Improve the model for everyone. If you turn this on,
Mhm.
you can
Hmm.
just read right here. Allow your content to be used to train our models,
Ooh.
which makes ChatGTP better for you and everyone who uses it. We take steps to protect your privacy so you can learn more about those steps, but I turn it off.
Hmm.
Because see, like the thing is that if you don't turn this off, every conversation you have with ChatGTP is being used to improve
Mhm.
ChatGTP as a
Mhm.
whole, and that
Mhm.
means that it's being trained on the words that you use.
Mhm.
And so, if you're
Mm.
talking about, so like, if you, so the layers are, you've got this picture that you're like, hey, look, I don't feel comfortable about you having this picture. I want to get rid of it. Step
Mhm.
one is, yeah, you can delete the conversation,
Mhm.
but if you've already been trained on it, then there's no guarantee that that picture
Won't
isn't
show up somewhere in
show up
some
in his
capacity.
training
I got you.
somewhere. You see what I'm?
Okay.
So
Oh,
you
Yes.
want to
Thank
turn
you.
this
that's
off too.
good.
Thank you
Okay,
for
I need
that.
to turn that
Yeah,
off.
for
I need to
sure.
turn
I
that
Yeah,
off.
think
make sure you
that's
turn
off
this off.
already, but I need to check that just to be
They
sure.
leave it on as a default.
But when you
Mm.
first start up, don't doesn't that come up somewhere where they ask if you want them to?
I don't think so.
Oh well,
I
okay
I,
then. I better
I
check
can't
that
tell you
then.
because I
Okay.
created an account like when it first came out, but like
Okay.
but yeah, I don't think that they ask you. I believe that it's just one of them things that you got to go turn off. It's a lot
Okay.
of stuff like that that it's like, yeah, you got to go and turn it off yourself.
Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
G Deuce want to say
So,
something.
yeah, so just for clarity, so turning that off is going to prevent it from basically being used by the masses.
Right.
Yeah, from it
Yeah,
training.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah,
So,
Okay.
so then
Okay.
if you turn that on and it is shared, so could someone basically say, just say if they know Second Life Rich, can they go into Chat GPT, ask it a question and say it just like, I don't know, Second Life Rich, if
Right.
that's their
Could she go
username?
on her chat
Yeah,
yeah.
GPT and
Let's
say
let's let's
what who
see.
is Second Life Rich?
Let's
Because
see.
yeah.
I was surely gonna do that. I
Let's see.
was just
Somebody
to see what
somebody
came up.
somebody
Ooh.
somebody share their screen. Let's see.
Okay.
Somebody share
Oh,
their screen.
God.
Let's see. Somebody
You
ask
just updated
who's
IT Trey. You
who's
want to
second
do it
who's second
I
life
since
just
you
rich.
just
upgraded.
updated?
I want to
Okay.
test it
Because
out.
Right. That's
just
what I
like
said. Why
Sped
don't
by
I
you
play
do
me,
it
with
since
my
you
new
just
it
toy.
knew
upgraded?
stuff that
Yeah.
she didn't want it to know. So you want to keep your
Right.
privacy, you know?
Yes.
I mean,
Yes.
that's
Yeah.
Yeah. I
that's
figured you'd want to
wow,
bless
you
us.
know?
Yeah, I'm huge on trying to stay private.
Ooh.
Hmm. Yeah.
Huge on it.
I
I
mean,
hear you,
because that's
sped by
almost like
me.
a
Listen.
perpetrator. Okay, I want to know about G Deuce. What would G Deuce, you know, da-da. It's like, oh, yeah, that's kind of scary. Kind of.
Now, it
Well,
was
trust your
pulling that
instincts.
information from
Mm-hmm.
the conversations I was having with
Mm-hmm.
ChatGTP, and I enjoy
Mm-hmm.
having conversations because it helps me brainstorm.
Me
It
too. I
helps
love
me,
it for
Yes.
that.
like
Yes.
sometimes I
Yes.
got a paragraph or something I want rewritten or rephrased,
Right.
and
Exactly.
I
Mm-hmm.
use it, and it's really helpful.
It
But then
is.
when we discovered that it's kind of like I knew it was saving my conversations with it, but then when I pulled that information up and it pulled from there,
Mm-hmm.
um,
You were
it
flabbergasted.
yeah, I was just surprised by it.
Yeah, I
Because, for
bet.
example, I had
Mm.
asked it a question about something, in another state, and it had
Hmm.
already pulled up information that I had used for the state that I live in, and I was like, "Well, why did you know that? I was talking about another state." But that's
Wow.
because it's pulling from the information of conversations I've had about where I am at.
Right.
So it actually was feeding off of that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Exactly.
Wow. Wow.
My phone.
So who's
Yeah.
Yeah.
sharing their screen now?
That's IT Trey.
IT
Yeah.
Trey.
I mean,
Oh,
yeah. I was. I
it
didn't
pulled up
realize
your
it was.
information?
Yeah. Let's try somebody
Whoa.
else. Ask it who G Deuce is.
Okay.
Wow.
Now, in order for it to
I'm
show
gonna
you a
search
picture
these.
tray, it would have to create it itself because it doesn't have like it can't go and get like some other picture and then
Okay, so that's good. Okay.
it can
So that's the
only make its
privacy
own
thing I
pictures.
was worried about. Like, So if you like store your picture, like it saves to know your pictures and what you look like. Like if you share a picture with it, it can't share that picture with nobody else, can it?
It's not going to share that picture with anyone else. No.
Okay,
Okay,
that's
so that's what I was
But
wondering.
now here's what you have to keep in mind. What it can do if you've got that, if you don't have that button ticked
Mm-hmm,
where it can train off of it, like, but if you've
mm-hmm,
got that ticked where it can't do it, then it can't use it. But let's say you don't have that ticked, and you have allowed it to train on your content, right? In that case, if you upload, let's say you upload a picture of yourself, okay? That picture would then become part of its training data. Now, let's say someone comes behind you and says, "Hey, uh, let's say on somebody else's Chat GTP, they say, "Hey, create a person," and they describe the person they want, and they have features like yours.
mm-hmm.
Your picture would be maybe one of the pictures of inspiration for the output that comes out of the diffusion. Yeah.
Hmm.
But it's similar to how if you find a human being that's really good at drawing, right? That draws a lot of portraits, and then you go to that human being and you say, "Hey, draw me a human being that doesn't exist," right?
Yeah, cause
It's gonna draw a nice face, but it's gonna do it based on the memory of all the other faces it's drawn, right? And so in a way, that's how training data gets used in future output. It becomes part of that inspiration kind of thing.
hmm.
Gotcha. Okay,
Cause
okay.
isn't AI supposed to when it pops out an image
That is not
Hmm.
G
of
Deuce.
something, it does give you. It's supposed to
What?
give you something that doesn't exist, like nowhere. Like it's to give you like a result of something like this not created because of copyright issues and stuff. Like what that come into place when it comes to AI
Mm-hmm.
generating images.
That is one of the biggest fights coming up, and like we're gonna be having for a long time is like what is the legal boundaries for them
Yeah.
to train on human work, on human
Mm-hmm.
creative work.
Mhm.
Because the thing is, the machine can copy anything. It can
Oh
copy your
yeah,
voice, it can copy your likeness, it can copy your
yeah,
intelligence, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Mhm.
then, is it fair that it does so? Like, is it fair that these big billionaire companies can
yeah.
basically
Like yeah, what
automate
does that mean for
copying
photographers?
all our work?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Oh,
And
like,
yeah,
and
it's
then giving
really
it away for
unfair
free?
because when you
exactly,
think
It's
about
really
how
unfair.
much
exactly.
they've done with like the music industry and different
Man.
places where they've
Mm-hmm.
captured practically their
Ooh,
soul in a contract,
Oh my God.
we can't tolerate that
I
in
have you
AI.
Yeah.
exactly.
watch this. Let me show y'all something. Watch
Okay.
this. Watch this.
Oops, let me take that down.
Hold on, let's check this out.